I said it yesterday, guys. I said it yesterday. This crypto executive order could be a catalyst for the market. And my God, Bitcoin running up about 10% overnight. It's actually up like 8.74% right now for the day. Um, I want to look at what's to come with regards to that, along with some interesting news about hedge fund going hard into crypto. Before I do, as always, I update the spreadsheet. Just the first 26 coins I held, first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. And if you'd invest $100 into each one when I release the videos and you're still holding all of that, you'll be in profit for over 40 grand. It's not what I hold anymore. If you want to see the coins I hold, come check out Copy My Cryptos, where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell, along with how I'm setting up the portfolio in terms of either a bearish move in the market or a bullish move in the market. If you're not sure how to set up your portfolio appropriately right now, then this is something you'll want to check out. Obviously, we've had a crazy couple of years with lockdowns, with an impending war, with energy prices skyrocketing, with inflation skyrocketing, with interest rates going to be going up, and that's going to be hard for people. These are the times where you've got to set up your portfolio appropriately, given that uncertainty in the market and fear globally do have massive impacts on the market. So if you want to see how I'm setting my stuff up, click the link in the description and check it out, guys. All right, first of all, Bitcoin up to 42.1k. 42.1k. Stokes looking good. Opened at 38.7 thousand, and yeah, ran. It's really ran. It's got some definite resistance around sort of 42,400 ish. Let's see if that continues, though. It's been a really positive sort of start to the day. As we can see, the Biden crypto executive order is on its way. And this was something that I said, while yes, it could be, if they overreach, it could really suck because we'll see innovation stifled. But if they don't overreach, if it's measured, if the regulations that they're putting into crypto make sense, then we're going to see money pouring into the market. It could be a catalyst event. That was what I said. And we still don't know what they're going to say. If they overreach, if they're irresponsible with the imposition of the regulations, then it's not going to support innovation and it will stifle the market. But Janet Yellen actually came out and said Biden's executive order supports responsible innovation. So a new statement from the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen lays out her department will implement the provisions of a long-awaited executive order from Biden. So the statement issued last night and later removed from the department's website states that Biden's historic executive order calls for a coordinated and comprehensive approach to digital asset policy. It's interesting that they removed it. This approach will support responsible innovation that could result in substantial benefits for the nation, consumers, and businesses. It will also address risks related to illicit finance, protecting consumers and investors, and preventing threats to the financial system and broader economy. That's the kind of crap that concerns me. That stuff is what concerns me. Because they're talking about, the risks of illicit finance. Then sort your pissing banks out. More money gets funneled through banks illegally than anywhere else. So either sort that out or have a complete system in place for all financial markets, but don't pick crypto out as the thing that people are using to avoid paying their way or sanctions or whatever bullshit that it is, because the easiest way for people to avoid the government is to use banks with shell corporation after shell corporation after shell corporation. It's bullshit. And I don't like this. So that concerns me. Protecting consumers and investors. Consumers and investors need protecting. The problem with that is people then and governments then overimpose to protect. And that could be problematic. And then obviously preventing threats to the financial system and broader economy. And that to me is, is at least highlighting that they're going to be looking at stable coins to some degree. So the Treasury Department said we'll partner with interagency colleagues to produce a report on the future of money and payment systems. They'll also convene the Financial Stability Oversight Council to evaluate the potential financial stability risks of digital assets and assess whether appropriate safeguards are in place, and work with international partners to promote robust standards and a level playing field given the global nature of the industry. This work will complement ongoing efforts by the Treasury. So, I mean, if we see a CBDC, it'll be interesting to see where that's built upon. I can't imagine that I imagine they're going to utilize a blockchain that's already up and running, or a system in place that's already up and running. So, that in and of itself is going to be fairly interesting. But this statement will be coming out soon enough, either from Biden, and hopefully it isn't overly regulatory. Hopefully it isn't going to be overly conservative in the way that they protect consumers. I often hate the term protecting consumers or protecting investors, because what it does tend to do is see enormous amounts of administration, whether that's like additional levels of KYC, whether that's, reducing the standards or adjusting the standards with which you can invest in. So concern, but as long as they don't overstep, this is hugely bullish. And certainly the sentiment in the market right now is bullish. If you look at 30-minute candles, or even just hourly candles, but from about 3 a.m. last night, the market just started really rallying. To be fair, from basically midnight, we started seeing a real positive appreciation in price. So we'll see if that continues throughout the day. Obviously, if that executive order comes out and it's miserable or overly regulatory, then we might see a retracement. Potentially, the market has rallied in terms of pricing in the negative news that's coming, and then, even if the negative news comes in, it doesn't create new lows, and that's feasible. But what we are seeing is that hedge funds and institutions are starting more and more to enter crypto. Now, Alan Howard, who is Paul Tudor Jones, are said to be increasing their trading in crypto. So Alan Howard is co-founder of Brevin Howard Asset Management, and Paul Tudor Jones is the billionaire who runs Tudor Investment Corp, and they're expanding their crypto trading, according to people familiar with the situation. Now, if that is the case, we're talking about billions and billions of assets that are being run, billions of dollars worth of assets that these hedge funds run, that could be that are going to be pouring into crypto. And again, it's just a really solid sign. So we'll have a quick look. Brevin Howard Asset Management and Tudor Investment Corp. So Brevin Howard Fund Management is $20 billion. And Tudor Investment Corporation, we've not actually got numbers on at the moment. This says corporation, I'm not that bothered. 38 billion. So you're looking at $58 billion worth of assets. Now that funneling in and increasing in terms of crypto, because it may, even if it's 1%, 2%, and they're doubling it, all of a sudden that's a lot more money again entering the space. And the thing that I was pointing out, and the thing that I've seen on crypto YouTube, crypto Twitter, that there appears to be fear regarding the executive order. Now, there should only be fear in the short term. Yeah, it might have a negative impact on the market in the short term, but in the long term, what it does do is increase the amount of institutions that start entering the space, the amount of hedge funds, the amount of money that comes into the space. And there's positives and negatives there. The negatives, quite simply, are there are now enormous hedge funds, enormous institutions that can play around with the market and impact the market however they see fit with the amount of funds that they have. That is difficult. That's going to affect many of the retailers. But in a long-term perspective, more money coming into the market means over time, prices will appreciate. Yeah, there's options and derivatives that could negatively impact the market again, but overall, the market sentiment will continue to be bullish long term. And we know there are institutions sitting on the sidelines waiting for clarity about regulation. And when they've got that clarity, they will put their funds into the market, and all of a sudden that market will see that rally once again. And it'll be an extended period. We're going to see this space only grow. So it's good to see that the market sentiment right now is pretty positive. Overall, we're seeing, since midnight, we've seen real positive movement in the market with Bitcoin, because obviously there are one of two things happening. Either people are pricing in this a negative statement, so that even if it depreciates in value across the day, it'll probably end up still being a higher low than we've previously had. Or people are expecting something quite bullish, something quite dovish, something quite exciting for crypto, and the market is anticipating that and rallying. But either way, it should be a fairly positive day for the crypto space. But let's see. Like I said, over-regulation is not a good thing, and it is a killer. So we don't want to see that. But again, it's only a killer in the very, 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 very short term. So yeah. Anyway, that's it from me. Hope everyone's keeping well. I'm really intrigued to see if Biden comes out with a statement today, and if he does, it's going to be very, very, very interesting, guys. Anyway, if you're new to crypto, you've been in crypto a while, not happy with the way your portfolio is set up, not happy with how you're navigating the markets, come and check out Copy My Crypto. I go through what I'm holding every time I buy a coin, every time I sell a coin, the plans I've got in place in terms of buying any new coins, the plans I've got in place in terms of how I'm going to navigate when things go bearish or when things go bullish. And I tell you exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So if you want to know exactly how I'm playing this market right now, click the link in the description, guys, and check it out. Anyway, take it easy. Let's see how today goes. Bye-bye.